The warning lights in Earth's Space Defense Center flashed red. Commander Lee Hyun-woo stood at the main screen, watching dots appear on the radar. Each dot was a ship. Each ship was bigger than anything humans had ever built. "How many?" he asked. 200 ships, sir," said Lieutenant Ko Min-soo. His voice shook a little. "They came out of hyperspace 30 minutes ago. They're moving toward Earth." Hyun-woo had been a soldier for 20 years. He had fought pirates in the outer system. He had seen war. But this was different. This was an entire fleet of alien ships heading straight for his home planet. "Get me President Chen on the line," he said, "and call Dr. Park So-jin. We need her here now." The alien ships were huge. The smallest ones were 3 times bigger than Earth's largest battleship. The biggest ship in the middle was like a flying city. It had to be 10 kilometers long. Dr. Park So-jin arrived 15 minutes later. She was Earth's best expert on alien life. She had studied every alien species humans had ever met. But she had never seen ships like these. "They're Velthak design," she said, looking at the screen. "But I've never seen so many together. The Velthak Empire controls most of the galaxy, but they usually ignore planets like Earth." "Well, they're not ignoring us now," said Hyun-woo. The communication system beeped. A voice spoke in perfect English, but it sounded wrong, like a snake trying to talk. "Humans of Earth, I am Admiral Vorthak of the Galactic Hegemony. You will listen." The main screen changed. Now it showed a creature that looked like a giant lizard standing on 2 legs. Its skin was green and covered in scales. Its eyes were yellow and cold. Sharp teeth filled its mouth. "Your species has reached a level of technology that requires our attention," the alien said. "For too long you have developed without proper guidance. This ends today." Hyun-woo felt his hands turn into fists. Around the control room, other officers were getting angry too. Nobody liked being talked to like children. "You have 2 choices," Admiral Vorthak continued. "You can join the Galactic Hegemony as a client species. You will follow our laws. You will give us your resources. You will serve the greater good of the galaxy." The alien paused. Its yellow eyes seemed to look right through the screen at each human watching. "Or you can resist, in which case we will pacify your planet. Your cities will burn. Your people will serve us anyway, but as slaves instead of citizens." The screen went black. For a moment, nobody in the control room spoke. Then Captain Kim Tae-ho, Earth's best pilot, said what everyone was thinking. "Did that thing just threaten to destroy Earth?" "Yes," said Dr. So-jin quietly. "It did." President Chen's face appeared on another screen. She looked tired and worried, but her voice was strong. "Commander Hyun-woo, I need options. What can we do?" Hyun-woo looked at the radar screen. 200 alien ships. Earth had maybe 50 ships that could fight in space, and most of them were small patrol boats. "Honestly, Madam President, if they want to destroy us, they probably can." "But," she asked, "but they're not trying to destroy us. They want to control us. That means they think we're worth something alive." Dr. So-jin stepped forward. "Mr. President, I've been studying the Galactic Hegemony for years. They've done this to hundreds of planets. They find a species that's getting advanced, then they give them this same choice: join or die." "What do most species choose?" asked the President. "They join," So-jin said sadly. "The hegemony is too strong to fight." Hyun-woo felt something burning in his chest. Anger, maybe, or pride. He had never backed down from a fight in his life. He wasn't going to start now. "What if we're not like most species?" he said. Everyone looked at him. "What do you mean?" asked President Chen. "I mean, what if we don't give them what they expect? Every other species probably begged or tried to negotiate. What if we just tell them no?" Captain Tae-ho smiled. "I like that idea." "It's suicide," said Dr. So-jin. "Their technology is centuries ahead of ours." "Maybe," said Hyun-woo, "but humans don't give up easy, and we've got something they don't expect." "What's that?" asked the President. "We're crazy enough to fight back." For the next 6 hours, Earth's leaders talked. Every major country sent representatives. For the first time in human history, The whole planet worked together on one decision. The answer was the same from everyone. No. At midnight Earth Standard Time, President Chen made the announcement that changed everything. "People of Earth," she said, speaking to the whole planet. "Today we received a demand from an alien empire. They want us to surrender our freedom. They want to make us slaves." She paused, looking directly into the camera. Earth's answer is simple. No. We will not bow to tyrants from the stars. We will not trade our freedom for safety. If they want Earth, they will have to take it from us. The message went out to every TV, every radio, every computer on Earth. It also went out to space, where Admiral Vorthak's fleet was waiting. 30 minutes later, the alien replied, "Foolish humans, you have chosen death. We give you 48 hours to reconsider. After that, we begin orbital bombardment. Your cities will burn. Your people will beg for mercy." The screen went dark again. In the control room, Hyunwoo looked around at his team. They were scared, but they were ready. 48 hours, he said. "Let's make them count." Lieutenant Min-soo looked up from his station. "Sir, we're getting messages from all over Earth. Every military base, every space station, every ship. They're all asking the same thing. What's that? When do we fight?" Hyunwoo smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. It was the smile of a man who had decided that some things were worth dying for. "Soon," he said. "Very soon." Above Earth, 200 alien ships waited. They had conquered hundreds of worlds. They had never lost a battle, but they had never fought humans before. And humans, as they were about to learn, were different from every other species in the galaxy. They got more dangerous when cornered. The 48 hours passed like a dream, but humans didn't waste time dreaming. They worked. Commander Hyunwoo stood in the war room deep under the mountains of Colorado. Around him, screens showed the solar system. Red dots marked enemy ships. Blue dots marked human ships. There were a lot more red dots. "Status report," he said. General Yoon Sung-min pointed at the screens. "We've moved all civilian ships away from Earth. Military ships are hiding behind Jupiter's moons, and we activated the secret project." "What secret project?" asked Dr. Sojin. "General." Yoon smiled. "The one we've been building for 10 years. Defense platforms hidden all over the solar system." The screens changed. Now they showed dozens of new blue dots. Space stations with big guns, missile platforms, robot fighters. They had been disguised as asteroids and space junk. "How many?" asked Hyunwoo. 87 combat platforms. Each one has enough firepower to hurt their big ships. Dr. Sojin looked amazed. "The government has been building a secret space army?" "Not just our government," said General Yoon. "All of them. Russia, China, America, Korea, Japan, Europe. Everyone worked together. We've been planning for this day since we first met aliens 20 years ago." Captain Taeho walked into the room. He looked excited and scared at the same time. "Sir, the alien fleet is moving. They're coming toward Earth." On the main screen, the red dots were getting closer. The alien ships moved in perfect formation, like they had done this 1,000 times before. "Time to deadline?" asked Hyunwoo. 30 minutes, said Lieutenant Min-soo. "Open a channel to all human forces," ordered Hyunwoo. His voice went out to every human ship and space station in the solar system. Thousands of people heard him speak. "This is Commander Hyunwoo. In 30 minutes we will be at war. The aliens think we're weak. They think we'll give up easy. They're wrong." He paused, looking at the faces around him. "Good people, brave people. We fight for our homes. We fight for our families. We fight for every human who ever lived and every human who will ever be born. Today, we show the galaxy what humans are made of." The deadline came and went. Admiral Vorthak's voice filled the communication channels. "Humans, your time is up. You have chosen death. We begin pacification now." The alien fleet moved toward Earth. Their big ships powered up weapons that could destroy cities. "All units," said Hyunwoo quietly. "Fire." Space erupted in light. Meaning, hidden defense platforms revealed themselves. Missiles streaked toward the alien ships. Laser beams cut through space. The aliens had expected to find a helpless planet. Instead, they found a trap. 3 alien ships exploded in the first minute. The others quickly raised their shields and started shooting back. "Captain Tejo, take your squadron and hit their left flank," ordered Hyun-woo. "Yes, sir." Tejo ran toward his ship. The battle was like nothing humans had ever seen. Alien ships fired beams of energy that could cut through metal like paper. Human ships fired missiles and bullets and anything else they could find. But the humans had something the aliens didn't expect. They fought like crazy people. When Captain Tejo's ship took damage, he didn't retreat. He flew straight at an alien cruiser and rammed it. Both ships exploded, but the alien ship was bigger. The humans had won that trade. When the defense platform near Mars ran out of missiles, the crew didn't surrender. They used the platform's engines to crash into an alien battleship. The explosion lit up the sky. Dr. So-jin watched the battle from the control room. She was recording everything. "This is impossible," she said to herself. "Humans shouldn't be able to fight like this." "What do you mean?" asked General Yoon. "Every other species we've studied fights to win. When they start losing, they try to survive. But humans fight harder when they're losing." On the screen, she could see human pilots doing things that broke all the rules. They flew their ships in ways that should have been impossible. They took risks that should have killed them. And it was working. "Enemy casualty report," called Lieutenant Min-soo. General Yoon looked at his screen. 12 alien ships destroyed. 4 more badly damaged. "Our losses?" asked Hyun-woo. 15 defense platforms, 8 ships, 230 people. Hyun-woo closed his eyes for a moment. 230 good people dead. But they had hurt the aliens bad. "Sir," called Min-soo, "the alien fleet is pulling back." On the screen, the red dots were moving away. From Earth, the aliens were retreating to Mars orbit. "They're regrouping," said Dr. So-jin. "This isn't over." Admiral Vorthak's voice came over the speakers again. But this time he sounded different. Confused. "Humans, your tactics are unusual. We require time to analyze your fighting methods." The communication ended. General Yoon laughed. "They're scared. The mighty galactic hegemony is scared of humans." But Hyun-woo wasn't celebrating yet. "They'll be back. And next time they'll be ready for us." Dr. So-jin was working at her computer. "Commander, I'm picking up something interesting. Radio signals from other star systems. I think other species are watching this battle." "What kind of signals?" "It's hard to tell. But some of them sound like cheering." Hyun-woo looked at the screens. The alien fleet was still there, still dangerous, but they had retreated. For the first time in 1,000 years, someone had made the galactic hegemony back down. "Send a message," he said. "Broadcast it to the whole galaxy." "What should it say?" asked Min-soo. Hyun-woo thought for a moment. Then he smiled. "Tell them that Earth stands with all free peoples. Tell them that tyrants are not welcome in our skies. And tell them that if they want freedom, they have to fight for it." The message went out across the galaxy. On 100 worlds in a dozen different languages, people heard Earth's declaration. Some of those people were slaves. Some were prisoners. Some were just tired of being told what to do by the galactic hegemony. And some of them started to think that maybe, just maybe, it was time to fight back. In space near Mars, Admiral Vorthak studied the battle reports. His officers were confused and frightened. "These humans fight like madmen," said one officer. "They value death over surrender," said another, Vorthak hissed. "Call for reinforcements. Send word to the Hegemony Council. We need more ships." "How many more?" asked an officer. Vorthak looked at the data again. Humans had destroyed 12 ships with only 50 of their own. The math was simple and terrifying. "All of them," he said. "Send all of them." 3 weeks after the first battle, the aliens came back. This time they brought friends. Admiral Bae Yoon-ji stood on the bridge of the Terra's Wrath, Earth's biggest warship. Through the window, she could see space filled with enemy ships. So many ships that they blocked out the stars. How many? She asked. 800 ships, said her communications officer. Maybe more. They're still coming out of hyperspace. Yunji had been a naval officer for 15 years. She had commanded ships in Earth's small space navy, but she had never seen anything like this. The alien fleet stretched from one end of the solar system to the other. Get me Commander Hyunwoo, she said. Hyunwoo's face appeared on the screen. He looked tired. Everyone looked tired these days. Admiral, we're tracking the enemy fleet. They've brought ships from all over the galaxy. Any good news? Asked Yunji. Actually, yes, Dr. Lim Jae-sung finished his project. We can now talk to our friends in real time. What friends? Hyunwoo smiled. It was the first time she had seen him smile in weeks. The ones who answered our message. The screen changed. Now it showed a map of the galaxy. Dozens of star systems were marked in green. 15 different species have contacted us, said Hyunwoo. They want to fight the hegemony too. They've been waiting for someone to start a rebellion. Yunji felt hope for the first time in days. What can they do? They're attacking hegemony supply lines, stealing weapons, freeing prisoners. The hegemony is fighting wars on 20 different fronts now. But the hope didn't last long. On her radar screen, the red dots were moving again. The huge alien fleet was heading toward Earth. All human forces. This is Admiral Yunji. The enemy is coming. Remember your training. Fight smart, fight hard, and make every shot count. The battle began near Jupiter. Human ships came out of hiding behind the giant planet's moons. They attacked the alien fleet from all sides. Captain Seo Kyung-ho led the first attack. His squadron of 12 ships hit a group of 50 alien cruisers. It should have been suicide, but humans had learned new tricks in the past 3 weeks. Ghost. Protocol activated, said Kyung-ho into his radio. His ships split up. Half of them were real ships with pilots. The other half were robot ships controlled by computers. The aliens couldn't tell which was which. The robot ships flew straight at the enemy, exploding when they hit. The real ships used the confusion to attack from behind. Enemy formation broken, reported Kyung-ho. Moving to target 2. Back on Earth, Dr. Sojin was watching the battle and taking notes. What she saw didn't make sense. The aliens are fighting like they always fight, she told Hyunwoo. Perfect formations, standard tactics. They're not adapting. What does that mean? It means they've been winning for so long, they forgot how to change. They expect every enemy to fight the same way. On the screen, human ships were doing impossible things. They flew through asteroid fields at full speed. They used gravity to slingshot around planets. They hid inside gas clouds and jumped out to attack. The hegemony has been the strongest power for 1,000 years, said Sojin. They never had to evolve. But humans, we've been fighting each other for our entire history. We know every dirty trick in the book. The battle moved closer, to Earth. Admiral Vorthak himself led the attack on Earth's moon. His flagship was the size of a small city. With enough weapons to destroy continents, Admiral Yunji took her ship to meet him. This is insane, said her first officer. His ship is 10 times bigger than ours. Size isn't everything, said Yunji. Attack pattern Omega. All power to engines. The Terra's wrath accelerated toward the alien flagship. Vorthak's ship fired everything it had, but Yunji's ship was too fast and too small. It dodged between the laser beams like a dancer. Target their command section, ordered Yunji. Her ship's missiles hit the alien flagship's bridge. Explosions rippled across its hull. But Vorthak's ship didn't go down easy. It fired back, hitting the Terra's wrath with an energy beam that cut through the ship's armor. Hull breach on decks 7 and 8, reported the damage control officer. Keep firing, said Yunji. The two ships fought like gladiators, trading blow for blow. Around them, hundreds of other ships were fighting their own battles. Commander Hyunwoo watched from Earth's command center. The battle was too close to call. Humans were fighting better than anyone expected, but they were still outnumbered 8-1. Sir, incoming message from the Rigel system, said Lieutenant Minsu. Put it through. A new voice came over the speakers. It wasn't human, but it spoke in perfect English. Earth forces, this is Captain Zeth of the Rigel Defense Force. We are former slaves of the hegemony. Your broadcast gave us courage to rebel. We are sending ships to help you. Hyun-woo felt his heart jump. How many ships? All of them. Every ship we have. We fight for freedom today. On the radar screen, new blue dots appeared. Ships from a dozen different star systems were jumping into the solar system. They came from every direction, surrounding the hegemony. Fleet. Admiral Vorthak's voice came over the emergency channel. For the first time, he sounded worried. This is impossible. The slave species do not rebel. They do not fight. They do now, said Yoonji. Her ship was badly damaged, but she was still fighting. The battle around Earth became the biggest space battle in galactic history. Ships from 20 different species fought against the hegemony. The night sky was filled with explosions and laser fire. Dr. So-jin was recording everything. This is unprecedented, she said. For the first time in 1,000 years, the galaxy is fighting back. The tide turned when Captain Kyung-ho led a desperate attack on the hegemony's command ship. His squadron of robot ships and human pilots broke through the alien defenses. For Earth, he shouted as his ship rammed into Vorthak's flagship. Tarios. Explosion was visible from Earth's surface. The hegemony's most powerful ship broke in half and burned. Admiral Vorthak survived, but his fleet was broken. Half his ships were destroyed. The others were retreating. All hegemony forces withdraw to the outer system, he ordered. His voice was full of rage and fear. But as his fleet retreated, more rebel ships kept arriving. The former slaves of the hegemony had tasted freedom and they wanted more. Admiral Yoonji's ship was barely flying, but she was alive. Around Earth, the wreckage of 1,000 ships floated in space. Many of them were human. Casualty report, she asked quietly. 4,000 humans dead, came the answer. But we won. Hyun-woo's voice came over the radio from Earth. All forces, this is command. The enemy is retreating, but this isn't over. Today we proved that the hegemony can be beaten. Tomorrow we finish the job. Across the galaxy, on worlds that had been slaves for centuries, people were celebrating. Earth's message had reached them. Earth's example had inspired them. The galactic hegemony was no longer the only power in the galaxy. The age of human defiance had begun. 6 months after the Great Battle, Earth looked very different. President Oh Dong-wook stood at the window of the new Galactic Peace Building in Seoul. Outside, he could see humans and aliens working together, building new ships, planning a better future. Mr. President, they're ready for you, said his assistant. Dong-wook walked into the meeting room. Around a huge table sat representatives from 43 different worlds. Some looked like humans. Others looked like giant bugs or walking trees. All of them had one thing in common: they were free. Friends, said Dong-wook. 6 months ago, we were all slaves or about to become slaves. Today, we are equals in a free galaxy. The room erupted in cheers. 43 different species making 43 different sounds of joy. Admiral Bae, Eunji sat near the back of the room. Her left arm was still in a cast from the battle, but she was smiling. Next to her sat Commander Hyun-woo, who was now General Hyun-woo. The war had promoted many people. The hegemony still controls 300 star systems, said a delegate from the Centauri Republic. They are gathering their remaining fleets. Let them gather, said General Hyun-woo. Every day they wait, more worlds join us. Freedom is spreading faster than they can stop it. He was right. The galaxy was changing. Every week, new worlds declared independence from the hegemony. The old empire was falling apart from the inside. Dr. So-jin raised her hand. She was now Earth's Minister of Alien Relations. We've received a message from the hegemony capital world. They want to negotiate. The room went quiet. For 1,000 years, the hegemony had never negotiated with anyone. They had only given orders. What do they want? Asked President Dong-wook. A ceasefire. They're offering to let us keep the worlds we've liberated if we stop attacking their remaining territory. General Hyun-woo stood up. And our answer? President Dong-wook looked around the room at all the different faces, beings who had been slaves a year ago. Now they were making decisions about the future of the galaxy. Our answer is simple, he said. No deals with tyrants. Complete freedom for all worlds or the war continues. The delegates cheered again. But the war was already ending, not because of big battles, but because of small acts of courage. Captain Shin Yu-jin commanded Earth's newest ship, the Freedom's Light. But she wasn't fighting battles. She was doing something more important. She was showing former hegemony worlds what peace looked like. "Captain, we're approaching the Vega system," said her pilot. Vega had been a hegemony slave world for 300 years. The people there made weapons for the Empire. They had never known freedom. "Open a channel," said Yu-jin. Her message went to every person on every planet in the system. "People of Vega, this is Captain Shin Yu-jin of Earth. We come in peace. We offer you alliance, not rule. We offer you friendship, not slavery. The choice is yours." It took 3 days for the Vega system to answer. When they did, they were crying. Tears of joy. "Earthship, this is Vega Prime. We accept your offer. We choose freedom." It was happening all over the galaxy. World after world was choosing freedom over slavery. The hegemony was losing the war without firing a shot. Admiral Vorthak sat in his throne room on the hegemony capital world. Half his fleet was gone. Half his empire had rebelled. His advisors were all afraid. "Admiral, the humans are approaching our core systems," said one officer. "They have 200 ships. We have 50, Vorthak hissed. "How is this possible? Humans are a primitive species. They barely have spaceflight." "Sir, it's not just humans now. They lead an alliance of 60 species. Every world that joins them makes them stronger." Vorthak looked at the galactic map. Most of it was now colored blue, showing free worlds. Only a small section in the center was still red, showing hegemony control. "Send a message to the human leader," he said finally. "We will negotiate." President Dongwook received the message while he was having dinner with his family. For the first time in months, he had gone home to see his wife and children. "Daddy, are you going to stop the war?" asked his little daughter. "I'm going to try, sweetheart," he said. The negotiations took place on a neutral space station. President Dongwook led the human delegation. With him came General Hyun-woo, Admiral Yoon-ji, and Ambassador Ryu Hye-jin, Earth's new expert in galactic diplomacy. Admiral Vorthak came with a small group of hegemony officials. They all looked scared and angry. "Humans," said Vorthak, "you have caused chaos in our galaxy. Millions are dead because of your rebellion." "Millions were already dead because of your slavery," said President Dongwook calmly. "We didn't start this war. We just finished it. The negotiations were simple. The hegemony would surrender. War criminals would face trial. All remaining slave worlds would be freed. The empire that had ruled the galaxy for 1,000 years would end." "And if we refuse?" asked Vorthak. General Hyun-woo smiled. It was not a friendly smile. "Then we come to your capital world with our friends, all 60 species worth of friends, and we finish this the hard way." Vorthak looked around the room. Humans and aliens sitting together as equals. It was everything the hegemony had tried to prevent. "We accept your terms," he said quietly. The war was over. 1 year later, President Dongwook stood before the First Galactic Assembly. Representatives from over 200 worlds had come to Earth to create a new government. "Today we write new laws," he said. "Laws that protect the weak. Laws that respect all species. Laws that make sure no one can ever build another empire, like the hegemony." The Terran doctrine became the foundation of the new galactic government. Any species could choose its own path. No one could be forced to serve another. Freedom was not something to be given. It was something to be protected. Commander Hyun-woo, now an old man, walked through the gardens of the peace building. Children played around him, human children and alien children laughing together. A young reporter approached him. "General, they say you're the man who saved the galaxy. How does it feel?" Hyun-woo watched the children play. He thought about all the people who had died to make this moment possible. Captain Taeho, Captain Kyung-ho, thousands of others. "I didn't save the galaxy," he said. "We all did, humans and aliens together. That's the only way freedom works." The reporter left, but Hyun-woo stayed in the garden. Above him, ships from a dozen worlds crossed the sky. Trade ships and exploration ships, not warships. Earth had kept its promise. The galaxy was free. An old alien approached him. It was one of the first species to join the rebellion. "Human friend," the alien said in broken English. "My people want to say thank you. You showed us how to fight for freedom." Hyunwoo shook his head. "We didn't teach you to fight. We just reminded you that freedom is worth fighting for." The alien smiled and walked away. As the sun set over Earth, Hyunwoo thought about the future. There would be new challenges, new problems to solve. But for the first time in galactic history, they would face those challenges as free people. The age of empires was over. The age of freedom had begun, and it had all started with a simple message. Earth declares that the Galactic Empire has no place in Terran skies. The galaxy had listened, and the galaxy had agreed.